Oh, good afternoon, everyone. Um, Welcome to this session, the Growth Conference India. Today, we are going to have a fantastic session. And if you work with me and if we all contribute to this session, you are definitely going to leave with so much value here. The Growth Conference is one initiative that I personally, would advise anybody, any woman, any man to be part of because we are changing lives. So I'm welcoming everyone from around the globe, especially our Indian participants, because this is Growth Conference India. So before we kickstart, very quickly, I want people in the chat box to just tell us where they are joining in from. And I think I spoke to the coordinators of this event, and I said, if I see someone who has attended all the growth conferences since we started in January, I think we should actually have a prize gift for them. So I'm going straight to the chat box, and I'm seeing someone from Uganda. Thank you. Thank you. Someone blessing or blessed from Uganda is joining from Uganda. Please show with a sign of your flags where you are joining in from, and also how many growth conferences you have attended, because definitely we know that we're doing something exceptional. This will just take like a minute, and then we'll move on very quickly to the gist of the day. Why we are here? Why are we here? Why are we gathering these people at this hour when we're supposed to be working or doing something with their time? Why is this important for us? So I'm going to the chat box now. I'm seeing someone joining. Oh, UK, thank you, thank you. India, ooh, thank you. Nigeria, of course, thank you so much for joining in. We have people still joining in. Please tell us where you're joining in from, and also tell us if it's your first conference, second conference, or third conference you are attending for um, the growth conference. Thank you. I have someone from India, Uganda. I wish I could just read out, where everyone is joining from, but thank you so much for joining in with us. Um, and before we begin officially, I would like to share some house rules with us. This is a virtual session, so it's important that we all stay muted during the times that our speakers will be, taking on the sessions. And also, we have the chat box. It's available for questions, inquiries, comments, and our technical team are professionals. They are here to respond to everything that you want to ask. Right? They are active. They are ready to take you on as soon as you drop in your questions. And what is also important here is that speakers will answer questions after their session. And also, in the event that they cannot take up more questions, be rest assured that they will be answering some of your questions right there in the chat box. So don't feel like we did not answer your question. Don't feel that we did not, get you on. Just know that we will take care of you as you connect with us. Now, very quickly, it's great to be in India today. The Growth Conference is a conference that goes around the world. And today we are in India. Even though we are connecting virtually, it just feels like we are right there with everyone. And the Growth Conference started off as an idea to speak to the hearts of women and address issues and topics that really pains us and also, inspires us. This is our fourth outing this year, and we have so much to conquer. Now, India is known for many great events, inventions, and even famous families like the Abanis. But more importantly, they have great thought leaders. And there's no mistake that the Growth Conference is in India. This was made possible by someone who has not only achieved extraordinary success, but has made a lasting impact as a global mindset coach, image, and etiquette consultant. Ladies and gentlemen, and ladies again, please let us make a warm welcome for our host, Kruti Shah. Please let's give up a warm virtual applause for Kruti Shah. Kruti Shah. And as we're welcoming her, I'm going to run through her profile. This is just a very summarized view of her profile, but you can go to the website and see an extended version. Kruti is a certified global mindset skills coach and image and etiquette consultant. She prepares entrepreneurs and executives for international presence through her expertise in communication skills, etiquette, dress to impress, and leadership skills. Kruti has trained people from at least 20 countries. Fantastic. She's also a keynote speaker, a writer, and she writes for the Global Mindset magazine, published in the Netherlands. She has represented India at the World Image Etiquette and Protocol Forum, FMPCI, in May 2021, as well as several global forums. When she's not working, she likes to spend time with her family and doing artwork with her daughters, as well as exploring nature through trekking and camping. Everyone, please welcome the wonderful lady, woman who made this possible and brought the Growth Compass to India, Kruti Shah.
Thank you, Ogo. Thank you very much for that introduction. I'm so delighted, excited, and more than everything, uh, as a representative for not just India, for not just all the women out there hosting this for India. I feel so privileged that I'm able to do this with the help of Nola and her team. And this is the at least the third conference that I am part of, and I'm so excited to welcome each and every one who is present here, who has registered, believing in something, believing that women, after going back from whatever careers they had chosen in the earlier time, and how much we want to remind ourselves that we are so talented, we are capable, we are here to make difference, not just for ourselves, but for many other women out there. So this is really an opportunity. I want each and every one present here, please take home maximum takeaways from the wonderful speakers that we have here today in the panel, today and tomorrow. Today being the first day, we have Dr. Megha, Shruti, uh, Vivian, and Sanjeev, who will be talking about their expertise, their stories that they'll be sharing about. Please listen to them, ask questions if you have, clarify your doubts. And I'm so excited that they are here. And we get to learn from the experts who have done that, reached there, and here with us to share. So I'm so looking forward to this, and please know that you are not alone. I have this similar story of after going back from a successful corporate career, then having two wonderful daughters, and then coming back, pulling myself out of that comfort zone um, was not easy. And that's why this resonates to my personal life so much. I know that each one of you have joined here to find your way out after the career break, and get inspired, learn from the wonderful speakers. You have any questions, please feel free to drop in your questions and stay connected. All the best, and I see you around today and tomorrow. Also, we have wonderful speakers lined up. So this is what I want to tell, and we have wonderful 2 hours lined up with these wonderful speeches that I'm looking forward to. Ogo, welcome to you also, and thank you for coordinating for this conference today.
Thank you, Kriti. Appreciate your opening address to all of us. We are excited. We know that this is definitely value adding. The very next thing, you're meant to read Noella's profile so that she can come on to give her opening address.
I would love to welcome Nola. Nola, are you there?
Yes, Kruti, I'm right
Hi,
here.
Nola. Yes. Okay. I would want to say that I have had my first international speech ever with Nola about it. So there is so much that I can go on and talk about Nola. Nola is Nola Ugwu is a growth coach based out in Nigeria. And there's so much I can just go on, but then there are some things that you really have to know about Nola is she is resourceful and impactful business coach and a trainer who has assisted individuals, corporates, and many, many lives of individuals and businesses. She is also internationally certified image consultant, and that's how we know each other because we both are image consultants. A certified neuro-linguistic master practitioner. Wow, wonderful. And a business analyst. She is also a keynote speaker, a global keynote speaker. Nola is a professional career. She has spent about 9 years in a banking profession, and she leads a team of thoroughbred professionals that has successfully delivered and bespoke intervention services in the core areas of business optimization. Nola has an amazing passion of developing leaders at different levels. I know that since we have worked together for waking up giants in people, and for unleashing the potential of young people. Nola and her, through her programs, Hangout with Stars, a global platform for developing young African leaders, not just Africa, of course, she's so much active around the world. Tech for Her, a tech awareness training programs for young girls in secondary school. She has greatly impacted the lives of thousands of girls and young women and men across the world. It's something that we all have witnessed if you have attended the previous growth conferences. She is a Nigeria Chair for Intercultural Dialogue for G100, a group of global women leaders, and non-executive director at the Institute of Export Operations and Management. In 2021, in recognition of her passion, women and girl child, she was selected to speak a global audience on gender-based violence and gender-based inequality during the 75th anniversary of the United Nations. Wow, wow, that's such a wonderful achievement, Nola. More than achievements, the work that you have done for people, uplifting people, women, children, men, it's tremendous. I'm so privileged to have known you and worked with you. Thank you so much. Please welcome. Welcome, Nola.
Thank you so much, Kruti. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you're joining us from. This is a global conference. So I know that people are joining us from different parts of the world. And I am so excited to see everybody here. The number is increasing by the minute. It's a work day. It's a lot of people are in the offices, and I'm really shocked that people are joining this conference at this time. It's 10 something a.m. in the morning in Nigeria. So people are at work, but they're still joining, and I'm happy. More important is the topic that we're discussing today, how women can return to the workforce after a career break. This is a global issue. It's not an Indian issue. It's not an African issue. Neither is it a European issue. It is a global issue. Women, unfortunately, have been made to choose between their career and their family. And I think that shouldn't be. A lot of mothers have downstepped their careers just to be with their kids, just to ensure that they don't miss the milestone. Unfortunately, returning to the workforce becomes a daunting task. Should that really be? I don't think so. We talk about inclusivity, we talk about diversity, we talk about equity. I think this is one of those places where we should actually amplify our advocacy on inclusivity. Mothers, while they have taken a career break from the office setting, these women didn't go to the cave. These women didn't go into coma. And even if they went into the cave, they would have learned some survival skills like resourcefulness, self-defense. They would have learned multitasking. They would have learned creativity and all of that. And don't you think this should count for something? Don't you think these are transferable skills that can benefit an organization? So these women have to deal with an avalanche of issues when they are returning to work. And a particular research shows that 93%, a whopping 93% of women are apprehensive when they're coming back to work because of the stereotype, because of the biases against them. And these are just some of the things that women have to battle with when they think of returning to work. There's this fear that they have lost touch with the work environment. And so skills gap becomes an issue. They would have lost touch with technological advancements and things like that. And so these women begin to feel inadequate. And this would lead to a kind of imposter syndrome because their self-esteem is also affected. Having left the workforce for a while, they will feel that not only has technology moved against them, but also what about office policies, leadership, the dynamics in the workplace might no longer be what they are used to. So psychologically, these women already are battling a lot. So for them to be stigmatized is like adding, it's just exacerbating what they are going through already. These women also have to deal with these biases, especially from recruiters who think they are suffering something like skills decay. And like I mentioned earlier, skills decay may be based on the skills they had initially, but don't forget that while they were at home, they were not sleeping. They were doing something. So I want to see this career break as not a break, but somebody just moving from one kind of employment to another kind of employment. It's just like somebody who works with an oil and gas company and suddenly is working in the banking industry. And the person wants to return to the oil and gas company or maybe to a manufacturing company. Are you going to say that the skills the person acquired from the banking industry cannot be of use in the manufacturing industry? So when we talk about women, mothers, having to take a career break, making this sacrifice, making this downstepping, just to ensure that they nurture their children. I mean, this is compassion at its peak. This is about people prioritizing. Is this not what we preach in the workplace? You need to prioritize. These women are prioritizing. These women are showing empathy. These women have gone to put compassion into action. And I believe that this misconception of thinking that they will not reintegrate very smoothly into the work environment is a misconception that has no grounds really. And so I encourage all of us here to listen to the experts that Kuti has lined up here. Kuti, thank you so much for the lineup of experts that we have here. We have Sanjeev, we have Vivian, we have Erica, Mega, and we have Shruti, and our dear Ogo and Hina that are moderating this event. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, everybody who has joined us from everywhere around the globe. Erica is one person that understands what it means to rejoin the workforce after a career break. And her story is such that has inspired me and inspired a lot of people so much. And she is here to share her journey. And I wish all of us a great learning experience. So let us try as much as possible to help these women to reclaim their place in the 9-to-5 landscape that they have left and which they wish to return and get reintegrated into. Thank you so much, everybody. I've got my notebook as always, and I've got my pen as always. So I am here to learn. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you very much, Nola. That is, your speech is always inspiring. And even this short speech is so much inspiring. Um, I would like to welcome Ogo Equale, the coordinator for today. And I have seen her before in the earlier growth conferences, and how impeccably you hosted that, Ogo. It's so wonderful to have you. So Ogo is definitely a seasoned executive trainer with over 10 years of managing diverse teams and transforming organizations into profitable ventures. That's what she's doing. Her portfolio is definitely rich and extensive, having led successful training projects across industries: oil, gas, fashion, lifestyle, retail, sports. Yes, and definitely development and governmental institutes and FMCG on critical and key organizational standards needed for improvements, professional, personal, and turnaround development. With over 8,000 hours of proven track record of delivering excellent bespoke corporate training. Wow, that's really an achievement. Her expertise range from designing culture training, curriculum, and procedures based on individual train needs, including small groups instructions and one-on-one training sessions, improvement of critical key organizational standards needed for turnaround development. And she is also has expert on her expertise on brand strategy, leadership, public speaking. This is what we have already witnessed, and we are so looking forward to today. Her amazing and impeccable skills of public presentation and public speaking. She is definitely very passionate about leadership and developing people to see them reach full potential. And she has been recognized for her leadership role in society with prestigious awards from Royal Commonwealth Society as an associate fellow bestowed by the Queen Elizabeth Diamond Jubilee Trust in recognition of her contribution to development in the region and strategic leadership. Wow. She's also a certified foodie, dancer, fashion, art, and travel enthusiastic, visionary, of course, and she's curious about mindset shift paradigms. That's so amazing, Ogo. Thank you for being here with us today and
Thank you.
helping us
Thank you,
to
Pretty.
coordinate this
No
program.
problem. Thank you, Chrissy. I'm happy to be part of this initiative. It's value adding. It is something that really changed lives, and anything that changed lives, count me in any day, anytime. So thank you for that wonderful introduction. Thank you to our founder, Nola Ugu, for that amazing opening speech, his well founder speech. And we just kick right into the day, right? I hope you are energized. Please drop your comments, drop your anything that gets you excited. Please comment in the chat box, and we'll share with everyone else. So now we are going into our speakers, and it's with great pleasure I would like to introduce our first speaker of today, an inspirational leader in urban regional planning sector. Please let's welcome Dr. Mega Fonsalka. And as she's here, yes, fantastic. And I'll read quickly her profile, very extended profile, but just a bit summarized here for us to, move very quickly. She's an urban regional planner with over 20 years experience, specializing in community-led development in rural water supply, rural and urban sanitation, and rural development with focus on livelihoods. She works the World Bank since 2007 in multiple water sanitation and livelihood projects. She is the founder of Teaser Artisans Trust, which supports rural artisans across 18 states, helping thousands of artisans' families earn livelihood through the enterprise model, supporting end-to-end value chain from creating producer group, making unique products for urban consumers. She has been South Asia's representative for 3 years on the steering committee of Water Supply Sanitation Collaborative Council Geneva, a body with UNOPS. She's also the chair for the governance committee. Fantastic profile. As an advisor with CUI, which is Center for Urban Innovation, she helps the center pilot innovation and take them to scale to make the urban cities a better place to live. She's transforming lives in different ways. I don't even know, Dr. Megan, I don't know where to start. You are helping the whole world. How are you doing this? And she's going to take us on this topic called developing the entrepreneurial mindset and exploring services that are high in demand. Please, I'm yielding the floor now to a beautiful, wonderful Dr. Megan. Thank you so much for joining in, and we are ready for you. Please take over.
Thank you for this elaborate introduction, and I'm so happy to be here on this beautiful topic which inspires women to become entrepreneurs. So, the topic today for the next 20 minutes, I'll be your speaker, and the session has been divided into three parts. The first part is my story, the second part is our story, and the third part is your story. So we will go in that sequence so that we are structured around the session. So when we start with my story, I'll take you to year 1992. I'm 25 years old, 24 rather, and I have completed my urban and regional planning from School of Planning Ahmedabad CEPT. With before that another masters with three gold medals, some gold medals in the horse riding at the national level, and very aspirational women in the career side and sports, a mixed kind of environment. Then 1992 I get married, and I register for PhD with a UGC fellowship, and then between those 5 years I have two kids. So imagine two kids and a PhD delivered together in 5 years. So then after 20 on 2000 or 20 onwards, I've been working in the sector after the PhD, and I continue to work in the sector. It The journey travels through World Bank and UNDP and FAO and multiple such organizations. I've been working very closely, nationally, internationally, South Asia, and other countries. And development sector is the focus: water, sanitation, rural livelihood, urban planning, and all that. Then comes 2015, and I got inspired to focus on my own entrepreneurial journey with lot of hesitation and concerns from the house, that who starts your own entrepreneurship, who sells things, you don't know how to know a business, you don't know, you have in our family never nobody has done business. So I always tell them that it's livelihood for me. But fortunately or unfortunately, in the sector which I am entering as an entrepreneur, there is a product to be sold. Until a craft is sold, there is no livelihood. So it's a business as well. And then comes 2015, where I started to serve. It's a French word, and it's a French word for weaving. And we started with a hybrid model. The hybrid model is such that there is a trust, not for profit, which supports on the women empowerment, community development, cluster development, end-to-end value chain, institutional strengthening, business entrepreneurship, women empowerment. All those keywords which we think about it are part of the trust. But as I said, there is a product to be sold, because if we don't sell a product, there's no livelihood. If you make a fabric with a hand weaving, if you make a jewelry with a handloom, hand crafting, it has to be sold. And that's why there is this private limited, which is required, because there are a lot of Indian laws which do not allow a trust to do active sales. So then there is this 10 years journey of mine up to now. It started with two people, me and the helper, but now we have 8 offices in the country with 75 plus staff, and we are impacting in more than 18 states with 10,000 plus people. And as a last part of my story, which started again now, That you remember I told you I was a horse rider for 10 years with the gold medals at the national level. So just 4 months back, I again started horse riding. Why the gap? Because you need to get a horse to ride. And while I got the horse in between once or twice, maybe 4 or 5 years down the line, one or two horses I got, and I did riding in between, but it was not like a regular basis. And at this age, I'm 57 now. At this age, starting horse riding is a bit adventurous, but I'm truly enjoying it 3 days a week. And so that's the journey. That's my journey. Of course, I have two kids. My daughter is 30 and my son is 29. Daughter married and son is about to get married. So that journey is going on, which they were born during my PhD. That was in 93 and 94. Now they are in their age they are with their careers respectively. The second part of our speaking session starts now, which is which is called our story. Why our story? Because while the my story talked about me, the our story is like how you and me and the thought process will help you create your own story. So understand one thing that entrepreneurship is a roller coaster ride. While when you sit at the roller coaster, you are so afraid, so worried about those goosebumps and that everything happening in your stomach. And when you are on the roller coaster ride, up there going down, zoom, that time you feel, oh my god, who told me to sit here, who pushed me here, because it's so much of things happening in your stomach. But by the time you get down, the faces are so happy, the eyes are sparkling, and you have enjoyed it. So, an entrepreneur's journey is always like a roller coaster ride. There are going to be these ups and downs, which will take you and make you feel why. Who told you to be in this space? But trust me, that's the best journey one can have in own life. There are 4 5 words which are really important when you step up in an entrepreneurship journey. And because I have done that, being a professional, and I do continue to do my profession as well, but being in this space. The first word is that whenever you think of become an entrepreneur, think of the purpose, why you are becoming. That why should haunt you 24 by 7. Why? Why are you doing this? Is this a need of the society? Is the need for you? Is there some problem you want to solve? So why? Just keep on thinking why 10 times whenever you want to become an entrepreneur. The second point is, where does the passion lie? In your heart, whichever topic you are choosing, or whichever sector you are choosing, or whichever area of entrepreneurship choosing, are you passionate about it? Why is there are so many problems, but you are not here to solve the global problems, okay? Of course, everybody is a change maker, but also, where does your passion lie? Problems are there, but does your passion align to any one of the problems? And that is where you say ki, uh, where that why and where. The third point comes compassion. That whom do you see you are going to impact? Everything you do in this life has a positive and negative impact, either positively on you, on the climate, on the nature, on the mother earth, or vice versa. So whom are you going to impact? Is it for inclusivity you are doing? Is it for differently able you are doing? Is it for youth you are doing? Is it for children you are doing? Is it for mother earth you are doing? So what is your compassion behind it? Passion is one thing, problem is one thing, but where does the compassion come from? Whom are you compassionate maximum? Does climate impact you? Does you feel for the earth, or you feel for the people on the earth, or you feel for the animals on the earth? What is your compassion that is driving your passion? And then you are towards the problem. And when you identify these three, the fourth point is then what action you are going to take. So when you talk of the action, just understand one thing, that the just take an example of the seed, that on the earth, any seed which is sown, it will grow. It does grow. Nature produce, there are so much huge jungles in the world, so huge forests in the world, that they have produced themselves. You and me didn't go to put the seeds there. There are flower valleys, there are so many flowers going in the nature 25 by 7. So there is always a conducive environment in the world for everybody. Forget the seed. But when you are sowing the seed, you should know that what is the purpose of the seed. Do you want a cactus? Do you want a aloe vera plant? Do you want a rose to grow? Do you want a sugar cane to grow? Do you want a mango tree to grow? Do you want a banyan tree to grow? Every tree has a different seed. Every tree has a different life cycle. Every tree has a different fruit. Every tree has a different purpose. So, when you are sowing the seed of entrepreneurship, it is really important to understand that what is the purpose, what is the passion, what is the compassion, and then you take the action. So, action is the sowing the seed. And now that the seed has sown, now that you have thought enough, how you grow it is the crux. Do you want to be in the not for profit sector? Do you want to be in a profitable business sector and create a brand? Do you want to be in a fashion sector and do for the recycling of the fabric? Or do you want to use the natural grass which is growing there and do basketry? Or do you want to focus on the raw material which is around and create a brand of the natural millets or something? So, how you do it? Yes, that's the beauty. Now the seed has sown, but how you plant it, how you nurture it, how you water it, how you grow it, how do you collaborate it with others. And there the word comes of connection and collaboration. So no entrepreneur can grow without connection and collaborations, because a tree also doesn't grow alone. There is a connection with the sun. There is a connection with a human being. There is a connection with the earth. So everywhere the roots are going below. So there is a connection and collaboration which comes when you have done the first three, fourth, and then the seed is sown. And now you have to grow, you have to collaborate, and you have to connect. The ecosystem is really, really very good for women. Let me tell you. While there are pros and cons of being a woman entrepreneur, there are pros and cons of even for the men. I remember as a horse rider, whenever I used to earn a medal or a trophy, the papers used to cover me across and not the male counterpart. Because as a human, as a society, people would love to see a female horse rider. That's really aspiring. So, the society does encourage a woman entrepreneur. While, as I said, there are pros and cons. And we all know the pros and cons. The pros of being a woman and the cons of being a woman. And they translate as an entrepreneur. We know we have to take care of family, we have to take care of relations and households and so many other things. But then men have different responsibilities also. So let's not go into that battle of men and women. But as an entrepreneur, women are encouraged in all societies now. The startup ecosystem is really encouraging. And trust me, if you sow the seed after due consideration of what the problem you are going to solve, what's the solution you are going to create, how unique is your entrepreneur journey, what are you contributing towards the climate or earth or neighborhood or society or your people or your nation, and how you're going to make become a job giver rather than a job seeker. And now the last part, and because we have limited time and I want the session floor to be open for the questions as well. Now the last part is that every day suddenly a top up comes from the god, and you awake in the morning with 24 hours in your hand. You know what is a top up? Mobile has a, you can top it up. Your basic plan goes, and then there is a top up. So death is certain for all of us. Life is uncertain. But every day when you wake up, at least God has given you that day. And when you wake up, God has given so many other people around you that day. So first of all, let's celebrate that day. And the best way to celebrate is that live your purpose. And since the top up has come and day in and day out it's coming, nobody can guarantee. So maximize your top up because it's free. So maximize your top up, give back to the country, give back to the society, whatever you can, your energy, your time, your money, and that's how you can contribute to the back to the society and the people you come from. And trust me, the happiness it gives to an entrepreneur to grow a baby and hold a baby apart from your own babies, your own entrepreneurship journey, your own brand, it's it's the ultimate reward. And trust me, your people, now family, my family started recognizing my efforts. Of course there are still so many questions that why you are sabotaging your career and why do you want to focus on this and all that, but if you are convinced, you can give the results and you can make others convinced. First you need to be convinced about all the things you are doing. You need to be convinced why entrepreneurship is important. And entrepreneurship does not mean that you do stop all the other things. You take so much of stress. It has to be a happy journey. I remember I told you it has to be a roller coaster ride. So it make it a happy journey, and that is why I choose what makes you give, which makes your face happy, which makes your family happy, which makes a contribution back, but gives you so much of happiness. The radiance should come on your face. And also the last point, whatever education you have taken, whatever education you have taken, and entrepreneurship is an everyday learning. It's a hands-on job daily. So it just does not matter. I never came from a craft background. I never came from a fashion background. I never came from a textile background. With no history of my family doing business in their life, I started this initiative because my focus is livelihood, which 20 years it is. It's not new for me. So my compassion and passion is livelihood. I chose craft as a vehicle to travel in my entrepreneurship journey. And trust me, like all the degrees with a doctorate in an information system, which was done with two kids born together, is is now being used. How bring I how I bring information technology in my craft tech, how I bring innovation in my craft tech, how I used AI in the craft. So everything is coming back to me, which I had learned in my urban planning. So now we are doing a project which is waste to wealth, where I'm using rack pickers and sanitation workers, which is my urban planning background, to create creative products. So everything comes back. Don't just think that, oh, I am an engineer, I am a doctor, I am a dentist, I am a school teacher. How can I become an entrepreneur? No, it's not like that. Your journey, your experience will help you throughout. And I think that was my talk, a little talk to you. And it's open to the floor is open to question and answers, whatever way we do the coordination by the host. But also
Okay.
remember, I'm always there to reach out to you through my LinkedIn and any other method you want to connect to me. And it's not that we are just collaborating for this 1 hour or 1 2 days. The connection has done now. The conference has done the connection. I'm always there to collaborate for anything you want in your life. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Mega. I really appreciated your session so much because it really took me back. I'm also an entrepreneur, and I know that everything you say is facts. There is nothing she said that is new. Everybody goes through the same process over and over again. But one thing stood out is the assurance that you know what you are doing. So I would like questions now from anyone. Okay, I have a question here. Um, what has been your biggest overall learning point in your journey so far? Yes, I
Every
have
day
two
is a
questions
learning.
here.
That's the biggest learning point. Every day is a learning.
Learning.
I have to answer, or we are taking
Every day is a
questions
learning.
together?
So, is there anyone
Every
that
day is
you
a
want?
learning.
No, it's time for the question. We have someone from the chat box, a participant who asks, "What has been your biggest overall learning point in your journey so far?" The
Yeah.
biggest, the
So,
one that really changed your mind, or yes.
as I said, every day is a learning. But the biggest learning point is that entrepreneurship is the best thing to happen to anybody, and it gives you so much of canvas to work. I have been a consultant. I've been with World Bank, and the way I used to support and advise and give a knowledge is you are on the other side of the table, and as an entrepreneur you're on the other side of the table. So I think the biggest learning is that entrepreneurship has to be embraced by everybody in the life, at least for once, small or big.
Okay, so entrepreneurship allows us to grow as
As a human being.
people and as human beings, and because you need multiple skills, diverse skills. You just clearly said that you are now using all your skills from your PhD and your career that you initially were in to presently walk through help your artisans create better crafts, which obviously that if they asked you maybe 20 years ago, you probably would not think it's going to be of any value to anybody, but right here you're changing lives. I don't know, let me check if they have one more question here. So I would ask another question. I want to ask, what strategies can entrepreneurs use to anticipate customer needs, ensuring their services remain relevant and in high demand?
Okay, that high demand is a very good question. So,
Yes.
for farmers, there is always one advice: grow that you can sell, right? Grow that you can sell, don't grow which you can't sell. It doesn't make sense unless you're using for own subsistence. And the same thing applies for an entrepreneur. Do which makes which where there is a demand. If recycling of fabric is in demand, focus your energy there. If developing a product which is in demand, focus on that, because a demand is always linked to a demand is always linked to a purpose. Otherwise, there is no demand. So just keep that in mind. You should not do anything which is not in demand, because your time should not be wasted in creating demand. Your time should be invested only in handling the demand. Demand should be there. And trust me, there is demand for so many things. Now, people are making shoes from tires, people are making vegan leather from mango plant, people are making clothes from bananas. So, demand will always be there, but you have to be very, very different and innovative in your demand. The innovation can be anywhere. It can be in the supply chain, it can be in the product, it can be in the thought process. Innovation is, it's not, you have to search. You don't need to search for innovation. Just to create innovation where
Yes.
and when possible. So demand is really important, but don't try to create a demand. If they exist, just try to locate them.
Oh, thank you so much for the wonderful insight. Our session has come to an end, but I please stay back and answer questions in the chat box, and so that we can move on to another speaker. But thank you so much. One of my key highlights is my story about myself, our story, how we are collaborating together, and also entrepreneur's journey, your purpose, passion, compassion, action, and collaboration. I think I just held on to that, and that's actually the way to go as an entrepreneur. Start from purpose, passion, compassion, action, collaboration, and definitely success is yours. Thank you so much, Dr. Mega. I really appreciate your time, and we can now call your session over right now. Thank you. But don't leave us. Please stay in the
Thank you. Thank you.
chat, yes, and communicate with our participants. Wow, fantastic opener from our first speaker, and we're moving very swiftly. And yeah, our speakers are keeping to time. I really appreciate this so that people can get around their day, going forward. The very next speaker that we have, please join me welcoming a speaker whose profound insight and expertise in sales have made her a sought after voice in our industry and equally a great contributor to the Growth Conference. Please, the lovely Erica Franklin. I'm sure she's here with us. Erica, can we have Erica up? Erica? Oh, fantastic. Erica is a friend of the Growth Conference, and she is the founder of EVF Consulting, a business and sales consultancy dedicated to transforming individuals and businesses through passion, perspective, and partnerships. She specializes in joining sales teams to drive revenue growth, enhance client retention, and provide career coaching while also speaking at global events. For instance, this one. As a director of sales or sister in sales, Erica plays a significant role in securing new businesses and expanding partnership for a global community of over 10,000 women of color, promoting sisterhood, career development, networking, and upskilling. Recently, she was appointed head of operations for African Sales Academy, where she's committed to shaping the next generation of B2B, that's business to business sales professional across Africa. Erica's impact and leadership have earned her a spot on the 2023 list of 100 powerful women in sales by Demand Base and Women in Sales. Beyond her professional achievement, she enjoys creating memories with her family, spending time at the beach, and traveling. Ladies, gentlemen, please let's welcome our beautiful, beautiful speaker, Erica. Erica, nice meeting you again. And Erica actually will be taking us on a topic called creating work-life harmony for enhanced productivity in the workplace. And I can tell you, I bet you she's the right person for this topic. Hi, Erica. You need to unmute.
All right, can you all hear me?
Sure.
Great, so thank you so much for having me back. I'm really honored to be presenting to everyone and just talking about this very important topic of creating work-life harmony for enhanced productivity in the workplace. And so today, I just want to first talk a little bit about my background. So we just had a great reading of my bio, but last year I actually had my first baby, and it was a true learning experience for myself, my family, and even during pregnancy, just to find a new way about getting things done, adjusting to my physical and mental changes, and redefining what success means to me. And so this topic is very important to me, very close to home for me. So thank you for assigning me to this great talk. I ended up leaving corporate America in late 2022. So as you can see, it says Ghana near my name. So that's where I am trying to build a new home base. And I got married and had my baby here. So after leaving corporate America, so I totally agree with Mega from the first talk, right? That being an entrepreneur is the way to go. I fully dove into entrepreneurship, really focusing on being a fractional salesperson, sales leader, as well as a sales consultant. And then this ended up giving me way more flexibility as I'm able to build my own schedule, take time off, and also make last minute adjustments, because with a baby, you know, babies can get sick, there could be changes in schedule, there could be so many things that happen. And as an entrepreneur, I'm able to pivot very quickly to be able to take care of my son. So with that being said, diving into the topic, so let's take and look at the definitions of work-life harmony versus work-life balance, because we often hear the term work-life balance over and over and over again in corporate America, in corporate internationally, on LinkedIn, with your boss, in your home. So when we think about work-life balance, it really is a negative term. Balance implies that things should have equal attention or equal support, and that's just unrealistic when you're a mother. There's days where things are going to be 60-40 or 80-20. So putting that type of pressure on yourself to be able to be split evenly with your job, with your family, with your baby is too much for anyone, and that should be taken away. So this new term of work-life harmony really implies just go with the flow. Be forgiving of yourself, give yourself grace as things pop up, be sure to just adjust. And honestly, this is one of the key ways that you'll end up driving success within yourself. Not only personally, but professionally as well. When you're more forgiving and more open and just going with the flow, you'll end up being less stressed and you can have peace. The next thing I want to touch on is just really highlighting the connection between harmony and increased productivity. So when you have harmony, harmony really leads to a clear mind. So, and what I mean by that, if you are going with the flow, you're not thinking about all the thousands of things that you need to do. And I will say, as a mother, there are always 1,000 things to do. And so with that clear mind, it really opens up this space to be more creative. I found in my own personal journey that being an entrepreneur and being able to be more flexible and calming down and telling myself I don't have to get everything done within in the next 24 hours has given me at least a few minutes to say, oh, let me be a little bit more creative about how I write up this email, or let me be a little bit more creative with this sales proposal that I want to present. It also allows you to, when you have a clear mind, to make better decisions. If you're not thinking about all the pressures and all the things that you have to do, you can definitely sit down and have a better decision-making process for yourself. The next thing that harmony really leads to is a better focus. So again, if you don't have all these stresses and pressures on your shoulders, you end up being more efficient because you're actually getting done things that you really want to get done, or things that are more prioritized on your list. And therefore, again, you feel more successful because you can check things off on your list. With better focus, another thing would be you're more intentional, right? So instead of just quickly going through your day because you have so many things to do, if you just calm down and have this harmony and go with the flow, you can actually spend maybe 2 more minutes to talk to someone on a call and be more intentional about how you speak to them, the questions that you ask, the way you present. So just some things to think about there. The last 2 things really have to do with the emotional side after coming back to work. When you give birth and so forth, is the less anxiety and less guilt. I think as a mother, once you have your baby, you have a lot of anxiety, right? It's a new thing, you have new responsibilities, there's so many things to do. There's so many people and family members that you're either comparing yourself to, social media, you're scanning through for answers and guidance. So that it can be a lot of anxiety. But when you have harmony and you're going with the flow and maybe shutting down some of those voices and noises, you're really at peace and you're being more flexible and open to change. So when the baby cries or when there's things with your family that pop up, you don't have so much anxiety, like you feel like you're failing, you're actually being successful. And I mentioned less guilt. So when you're doing all these things, if you have that harmony, you have better focus and you have a clear mind, you most likely have less guilt because you're not putting so much pressure on yourself to be able to, again, complete 1,000 tasks during the day. With that being said, so how can you accomplish these things, right? So some core concepts and some things that I really think that I would love for the audience as well as other women who listen to this later to be able to focus on is really prioritizing your time, prioritizing yourself. So those two things go into one. So by that, I mean really looking at the techniques and ways that you can buy time for yourself, as well as figure out this efficiency piece. So something that I like to do recently is color coding my calendar. I know that can be a bit type A, right? Or a bit over the top, but it really also provides me with a visual of how much time I'm dedicated to certain things. So if family is colored one thing and work is colored something else, you can be able to see, oh, I have way too many meetings today, or I have way too many things going on for work. I need to spend more time with my family. It'll give you a balance on what you're doing. Also I know a lot of my friends and peers set huge goals for themselves. We all want to be aspirational. We all want to be winners. We all want to be at the top of our careers, but set small goals. Those small goals are more achievable. And I talked about this in another talk. Those small goals will help you see your success over time. And I hate to say this, but take baby steps, right? You have a baby, so let's take some baby steps. When a baby is walking, they're not putting so much pressure on themselves to get it right the first time. So don't do that to yourself. The next thing will be a short list of daily things to get done for yourself. So I like to do a top 3 or top 5. And again, this is going back to the small goals, but it'll help you see that you're actually accomplishing things instead of that you're failing every day or that you didn't get everything done. But you did get what you needed to get done in your short list of things that you had to do for yourself. The next thing in regards to, steps you can take to actually achieve harmony would be boundary setting. So discussing the importance of clear work and personal time boundaries with other people that are in your life. And so when I say this, I'm not just talking about your manager. I know we're talking about work specifically, but where are you really gonna find help will be your family and friends. So they can also help you accomplish your boundaries. So if you don't want to be on your computer all day doing work and you don't want to be stressed all day, let's reach out to the people that really love you the most and see if they can help you watch the baby, be there for a support system while you sleep, asking them for any type of advice or help, or even just asking them to talk to you, just to talk you through your thoughts and so forth. And then the other thing I would like to say about boundary setting is having a shut off time. So something great that a lot of phone companies have done, right, is instill these techniques where you can actually shut off apps on your phone. So you can set timers on how long things can be up, and it'll make you feel guilty. It'll pop up and say you have 1 minute or you have 30 minutes left. Get everything done and shut it off. So then that way you can spend your time with your family or you can have silent time for yourself. So that is really helpful as well. And then maybe have somebody who really is keeping you accountable, whether it's a coworker or someone else that is in your life, to say, oh, it's 6 p.m. You shouldn't be on that computer. I'm shutting it down. I will tell you, my husband's very good at that. So to make sure that we get our family time and we keep the love, right? So that is very important. The last thing I'll say around, steps you can do in regards to really building out and making it a priority in regards to concepts is this mindfulness and stress management. So going into motherhood is very stressful. It's definitely a celebratory time, but it's a change. And so you just need to take some time to really think about what that is going to look like for you with all of these different changes that are going on in your life. Some of the things that I would definitely highlight are finding time for yourself. So a lot of women's time, right, is supporting other people. We spend so much time supporting our family, supporting those that we work with, supporting friends. We need to support ourselves. If we are not our best self, we cannot be the best for anyone else. And so there, even if it's 10 minutes a day, or if it's 30 minutes, every couple of days, be able to sit in silence. And I promise you, it has helped me really be able to think about all the things that I want to do, become more focused, get my harmony back if I lost it during the last couple of days. So that is key. And then sitting in silence if you want to during that solo time, or if you want to read, but also have silent time. Meditation and yoga is great. If you like podcasts, I know that I love music. So turning on my favorite playlist helps me get back, if I have a tough meeting or if I have a tough day. And then lastly, take your time off. I know so many people who think that they have to do everything at work and everything at home. You need a break. It is key to take your time off. And what I mean by that is step away from your computer. If sometimes you need to take a solo vacation, even if it's overnight, get away and rest. It is vital for your health. Then I'm going to dive now into organization. So really looking at the jobs and the companies that we work for, and even if you're an entrepreneur, some of the things that we can really focus on the other side. So I just talked a lot about what we can do as an individual. What can companies do, and what can leaders of and other partners, like if you're an entrepreneur, I'm sure you work with other companies and so forth, and what can they do to help women when they could get back to work? So I like the first thing I'm going to mention, because holding firm to work schedules and agreements. I know that when we get hired, sometimes as women, we feel like we have to take on more projects, we have to show up more. We have to really move fast to get that promotion. But if you got hired and they said that you need to work from 9 to 5, and you have X, Y, and Z PTO, and you have these other benefits, keep them to it. There's a document, there is, all of it is in writing. And I would definitely hold that. As a saleswoman, I'm all about contracts. And so contractual agreements are very important, and even for the workplace itself. And then most companies now, internationally, I would say, are on either flex schedules or they have hybrid work. So leading the conversation with your manager in regards to how you can now shift like your work schedule and what your workday looks like, and seeing if that will be compatible, as long as your goals are met, right? As long as you're doing your job. And definitely having results, I definitely would present that to my manager and say, I've been doing the job. I've been overachieving what you've asked me to do. I need a little bit of flexibility here because I have my new baby. The other thing I would like to mention is, and then this could be a little challenging for some people if you are not, I would say confrontational. And what I mean by confrontational is good confrontation. If your manager has children, I would use that as a talking point. Because I would come back to them and say, well, wouldn't you want to be with your children? Or was your child sick and wouldn't you want to be there, right? And it could be offsetting for a moment, depending on the person. But people relate how, we're all humans, and they wanted probably most likely to be there for their child. And when you say that, they probably will feel some empathy for you. And then also presenting supportive materials. So there's a lot of articles by Forbes and other magazines, as well as news articles about women in the workplace, how they need to be supported, statistical data. So I would use all of that in like a proposal to get my time back, or to get my flex schedule or hybrid work, whatever you need to be able to find harmony. Just have the supportive information when you go to ask for it. The last thing I want to mention is just a few actionable steps that we can take away quickly from this conversation. So I would say providing yourself to not put so much pressure every day on who you are and what you have to do. So going back to the original top, like the statements that I was making at the beginning of the conversation, no one is perfect. And no day is perfect. Even when you lay in bed in the morning, you're like, I'm gonna do this, 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 and this. It's never happened for me, right? To where I had all these things set in my mind. So forgive yourself, give yourself grace, be flexible. You probably will get 80% of those things done because as women, we get things done. But the 20% is going to be okay. You can roll that over most likely to another day, or that 20% might not even have been important to what you needed to do. And the other thing is guiding participants and or guiding you all with the action plan. So building out an action plan. There's a way that you can actually tactically do this in your everyday life. And I'm not saying to draw up like a, when you make a business plan, it's a long document. This does not need to be a long document. You can put this on the back of a napkin. You can put this on a sticky note, but really making an action plan for yourself. And the way you can make an action plan is by either start monitoring yourself and tracking how you spend your time and focus, or ask someone, maybe your husband, maybe if you have an older child, watch me, what am I doing during the day? Am I spending too much time here? Sometimes when we're in the depth of all of the things that we have to do, we don't even realize where we're using our time. And so having someone else call us out on it and making us be accountable for it can help us realize that we need to make a change in ourselves. And by doing that, you can make a plan, right? You can say, oh, my husband said I spend 6 hours working in the morning without eating, no breaks, and I spent 3 hours with the baby. Where is my time? So it'll start to give you some nuggets on what you're doing and how you can improve every day. So that's really it. Overall, like I said, when it comes to the topic of creating work-life harmony, it's all about being flexible, really forgiving yourself and giving yourself grace and just going with the flow. Because everyday life is going to be a new experience and you shouldn't put so much pressure on yourself.
Wow, Erica, thank you so much. Thank you so much. One thing I like Erica is she's going to give you action points. Do this, do this, do this. And you're just going to start implementing them because they're just fresh out of her own book. She's doing it already. So it's realistic. You can start doing it this moment. You can get out your to-do list, color code it right now. You can do it. You can get your accountability partner right now and tell them, I want to do this right now. And that's she's a saleswoman, obviously. She's speaking like one. We're doing this, we're doing this, we're doing this. Thank you so much, Erica. Thank you so much, Erica. And I'm going to take like a few questions right now. And one of them is how can I overcome guilt of stepping away from work to focus on my personal life, especially in a high pressure environment? And this question is for me because I tend to be an overachiever. Right now, I'm on holiday and everything is going wrong at work. I really don't care. It's really important for me. That's why I came here. But sometimes I feel guilty and I accept work because, I don't want things to get bad. So this question is for me. How do I manage that? Maybe every other person can hear as well. How do I manage that?
Sure. So I guess the way you set up goals at your job, right, and what you need to achieve, and all those things that are putting pressure on you, what goals do you have now that you're either on vacation or you're taking off from work, right? So outside of work, what goals do you have with your family? What goals do you have for yourself? Do you have a spa date for yourself? Do you have like different things that you can achieve outside of work? That is what is going to help you step away from the guilt because then it's you focusing on these new goals that are not associated with your job, but now associated with your personal life and your personal health.
Okay, goals. I like that. Very straight to the point. Have those goals in your mind, and then you're no longer guilty because you have goals for work, and this is goals for your personal life. So stick with it. Thank you. I like that. Straight to the point.
Really rethinking about how you're using your energy. Your focus and your energy are really on work, and achieving there. But you need to again remember that you need personally or your health, the way you show up for your family, all of those things will suffer if you aren't doing the same and giving the same energy on the other side.
Okay, thank you so much. Now, this is also for me. With the rise of remote work, how can I ensure that technology doesn't blur the lines between my work and personal life? Yes.
Going
Yes.
back
Because I carried work with me.
Yeah, so going back to, I actually went to an event here in Ghana, and it's by a great organization here for women called Women Wellness Africa. And they had a panel discussion. And one of the women, they work at Samsung that was on the panel. And she talked about what I mentioned earlier, these different ways on your phone that you can set timers. So I have timers set on certain apps that I only can be on these apps for, X amount of hours a day. And then once I get close to that, it actually notifies me, hey, you have X amount of time left. And it then calls you out. It's like a person telling you, an accountability partner saying, you have spent so much time on your phone, we're done, right? You need to go and be with your family or go and rest. So that's the one way that you can definitely work with technology to be in your favor. The other way is to turn off notifications. So many notifications if you're using Slack, if you're using email, if your phone is ringing, like all the ting ding, that's what I call it. If you turn some of these things off, it will allow you to have peace. And yes, those things are probably still like emails are coming in, notifications are coming in, but you don't need to hear them all the time, right? Especially if you're not supposed to be on the clock for work.
Okay, great. Timers for your apps. Like I said, very actionable. So our very next question is, what's the first step you recommend for someone struggling to find balance in their current routine?
Yeah, so this can be a tough one. There are a few things that I would like to talk about, therapy being one. Therapy can be a touchy topic, just depending on where you are in the world, if there are services available, if things, are costly. But I do think therapy helps because sometimes whatever you're going through might not even have to do with the situation that you're in. So there could be something that you're struggling with as a mother or as a career woman, and it has no relation to the actual job or your family. It could be something that happened to you earlier in your life. It could be something that happened, that impacted you that you watched. So I think therapy, let's start with therapy there, and looking into therapy sessions, therapy help. And then the other thing I would like to talk about is finding your network or finding your support system. So I talked a little bit about family and friends, but then there's also other mothers that you can talk to about how they handle situations. I'm in a couple of mother WhatsApp groups, right? And I don't have to listen to everything, or I don't have the notifications on, but sometimes I peek in there just to what's happening with some women. Is it happening to me? Just doing a check-in with myself. There's some great information about new schools and new programs, what kids are learning, what kids are experiencing, how people are handling their kids when they're crying or when they have a challenge with learning. So you don't have to have all the answers. There are networks of people that will step in and help, and finding someone that's in the same position as you can be great, right? So if you can find someone you trust and you can find someone that's relatable, that can be a great way to really look at how you're struggling to find balance and talking to somebody about how they do what they do on their end.
Okay, fine. Thank you so much. So we have Judith here, who is asking, how do I overcome the guilt of being so naive at work after kids? She's recounting her experience that she once returned to work with same responsibilities that she carried out naturally, but it looks like she had forgotten everything. How can she get the right support? How can she get back to the achiever that she
Yeah.
was before after kids?
This is what we call mommy brain, right? And I still have it actually. Still after a year, I'm forgetful of certain things. So the ways that I handle this is I will go back to the calendar blocking, right? There's things that I actually need to take action on in my calendar, and there's also reminders. So, like for instance, Google Calendar will allow you to make tasks. So, if I'm very forgetful after a week of this one task, I might put it in my phone, right? To just pop up, just to remind me every day that, this needs to be done in 10 days or something like that. or there are times when I actually write things down. So I have a ton of lists in my notes app, just to keep my thoughts together and for me to refer back to. It is okay to have mommy brain. Remember that if your baby is alive and well, we have done great for the day. So if you forgot something, just write it down somewhere that you can be reminded later to get it done. Also, if you are forgetful about a lot of things, maybe it's time to give some of that work to someone else. And what I mean by that is if you're in your home and you're forgetting to wash the dishes or you're forgetting to take out the trash or something, maybe it's time to have a conversation with the people in your home to say, can you help me out? I have, I have all these other things I need to think about. Can you take on these new responsibilities so I don't have to forget about them every day?
Oh, fantastic. Mommy brain is real. So everybody be fine. Mommy brain is real. So get out your notebooks, your reminders, your apps, everything to get you going. You were the performer before, you are still the performer. Just give yourself a little bit of patience to get around. So
Yeah.
Erica, thank you so much. Like I said, you've been fantastic. Thank you for always being part of this, inspirational conference. We really appreciate you. And we have officially called your session to an end. Thank you. Please, a virtual round of applause for Erica. Thank you for delivering so fantastically well and excellently well with actionable points for participants to take away home with and start, putting into action. Thank you. Thank you. French kiss. Mwah. Okay, very quickly. All right, now we do have um, what we call a time for promotion. We have people who support us, and we have a very interesting gentleman. He's the chairman of the ADG Narim Group, India. He is the chairman, a leading conglomerate with operations in IT, real estate, media, food, and manufacturing. With over 20 years of business experience, Mr. Narahin, yes, Mr. Narahin has a proven track record for driving innovation and growth across diverse industries. From humble beginnings in a middle class family, he has overcome significant challenges, learning resilience and strategic thinking from his father's entrepreneurial journey. Under his leadership, the ADG Group has expanded into multiple sectors, earning recognition for its excellence, including nomination for the Indian 5,000 Best MSME Awards and India 500 MSME CEO. He's a visionary and he wants to position India as a top economic power, driving sustainable growth, and positive change through his leadership. So let's us welcome, I hope he's here. Is he available? Okay. Oh, he's here with us. Good afternoon. Oh, there he is. Good afternoon. Can you hear us? Okay, absolutely.
Yeah, hi. Thanks a lot.
Okay. Yes. You're very welcome.
Not everybody
Yes,
to
welcome.
give me that opportunity to present my company. Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
Jai Shri Radhe Krishna. I'm Arit Naran from Bharat. I'm running a business. Thank you. I'm running a company by the name of ADJ Naran Group. And we are into multiple sectors. Basically, we are focusing right now on news channel and IT. In our news channel, we present stories of a business entrepreneurs who are face a lot of struggles, and especially women, because we believe every woman is unique and they do so many things for others. So we present women's basically in our channel. Also, we have a digital company in which we do a website designing, digital marketing, and all. After it, I have a cloud kitchen, which is work on a food delivery, which is available in India, especially in our city. We have a spices also. Spices are Indian spices are very famous from the past ancient India to till yet, in which we have our own brand of manufacturing. We have a seven flavors available. Then we have a tea. We are a manufacturer and producer of black tea. We in this we also have our own brand. Basically, our vision is to make India a Vishwa Guru again. And in our news channel, if I especially talk for which I'm here today, in that we present every single business story at free of cost. We never charge anything from anyone till yet, and by blessing of all yours, we believe that one day we will give a platform to every person who has a challenge to present their brand to the nation, to the world. That's my vision, and I'm focusing to provide more options. Like now we are into AI channels also. Now we are coming with a e-magazine in September or October, it depends. And we are also focusing for the audio platforms also, in which we share the interviews of a persons and share their stories and give them an opportunity to present their business. Basically, my main vision is to present businesses to all over the world of a small scale industries or a person who just started and they are facing struggles and who can't invest a lot amount to present their brand. So that's my vision, and for that we are doing it. And in this, I take a help of my IT company, which is a total a different course, but it's helped me a lot as I'm a IT professional. So we have some knowledge to present everybody and give a best response to the persons who are willing to work with us or who just join us to be a part of our company or become just they started a business. Like I have a story which we share later, but in this we are just willing that every person who has a issue to present their brand to the world or the nation, I'm trying my best to give them a platform, and this is the why ADJ Narayan Group doing it effortlessly for the same that we try to focus each and every person with the uniqueness of their and present to the others also their struggles which they face in their time. Like if somebody starts a business, they find financial problems, they find there are lots of challenges, so we cover up that, we share their stories to the nation and the world. So that's all we do, and thanks a lot everybody to giving me such wonderful opportunity, especially Miss Nola, Miss Kruti, who gave me this opportunity. Thanks a lot once again. Jai Shri Radhe Krishna.
Thank you so much, Nanairi. Thank you so much for sharing your expertise with us, and thank you that you have particularly focused on women. So you're part of us. So we celebrate you. Thank you so much. If we have any questions for him, please drop your questions in the chat box. He's going to respond to them, and please engage with people in the chat box. Thank you so much for that. So we have been having very interesting sessions. I hope the women in this session or wherever you're watching from, YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook, you are actually getting pumped up and you know that you are not alone. That is what's important. You are not alone. Every speaker here who is a professional has experienced whatever you're going through. So you are not by yourself. We are all in this together and we'll win and succeed together as women, thriving and becoming success stories as we want in our lives. So moving on to the very next speaker. Now we have our next speaker who's a true change maker, whose innovative ideas and passion have transformed his industry. Now let us welcome Sanjeev Lahiri. He is the Chief HR Officer, GRP Limited, and an executive coach. Please, do we have him here in the room? Do we have him here? Is he around? Okay, as we are trying to get him up, I'm going to continue reading his profile. He has over 26 years of professional experience at a global level in information and communications technology, trading, distribution, manufacturing, and holding companies, including startups. He's currently the CHRO of GRP. CHRO is a group HR officer limited and has previously held leadership positions with Tata Communications, Tata International, and Tata Africa. Wow, fantastic resume. Sanjeev holds a myriad of postgraduate qualifications and certifications. He actually said that he's really on the ground today and he's ready for us. And he has also been featured in India's top 100 great people managers list 2023. Remember at the beginning of the session, I told you that the people here are thought leaders and are pushing the frontiers in their industries. And you can see their profiles here, top notch. And also the most prominent diversity and inclusion leader 2024 by the World HRD Congress. I mean, amazing. You are needed here because we find out diversity and inclusion might just be a facade. Please tell us that it is true and it's achievable for all of us. Mr. Sanjeev, are you here on call? Oh, yeah, he was here earlier. Thank you so much for connecting. And his topic will be networking your way to success, internal networking and external networking. I give the floor now to you.
Oh, great. Thank you, Obo. Namaste, everybody, and greetings. Yes, there is a big part of Africa in my life. I proudly call myself another African. I mean, I'm a child of the mother continent, and actually, that's what I call myself at times. So, well, before getting there, once again, deeply grateful to each one of you. Kriti, thanks. I can't thank you enough for getting me on this portal and on this platform today. Some wonderful and very, very powerful conversations that we are having, and that we're having so far. Now, this whole term of returnees is something that I had heard in 2008. Right? So I was employed with the Tata Group at that point in time. Some of you may know it is one of the largest, or rather, it is the largest conglomerate in the country, in India, and it's one of the most respected brands in the world. They launched a program called Second Career Internship Program, quote unquote. I first thought, what is the second career? I indeed found it amusing, and trust me, I'm not exaggerating a bit. That what does a second career mean? So, being like a young guy those days, which I still am, but this we used to have these conversations in the corridors. That's what's going on. What does a second career mean? So then we were told, no, it is for women returnees and women who have taken a career break, particularly motherhood and so on and so forth. So isn't that natural? If so, the laws of the land allow it, and after people are fit to come back, they come back. I did not know what I was up to till the time I had my first intern with whom I was so privileged to be paired as a buddy. Then I got to know what it means, trust me, and it was mesmerizing. Being in the people space myself, being in the talent space myself, I could not believe that when there is a talent, uh, why would the organizations, the industries look at them with so many shades of glass or so many bouts of speculation? And also, what the person who has done enough in their career so far and had to take a break for whatever reasons, not restricted only to motherhood, has to face when they want to come back. And hold you there. The situation is not as rosy for the men. I'm not even covering other genders who also have taken a break. This particular session is about women returnees. So stick to that. But honestly, this is something that has intrigued me. This is something that has bothered me. So whatever little bit in my own way I could do in the roles that I have had, I kind of tried to play a part. But having that, we will delve more into that. Let me tell you the story of a child, and this is the story of a shy child. Right? The child was so shy that whenever you know relatives used to visit, he was found under the bed for the couple of hours, or he was found hiding behind somebody. Okay, the child was a boy in this case, uh, with his grandparents in some corner of the house, superbly scared to go and meet even the relatives, forget any unknown person. Yeah. In school, this child used to completely run away from any activities that had a public presence, right? Um, and that's how he grew up. Getting into his professions, suddenly he used to skip any opportunity to speak, right? Till such time as life would have it that he was in a spot where he had to put his hands up and say, guys, I need help. And the surprising part was that when he raised his hand, seeking help from a very few people who he knew around, or he was quote unquote connected or comfortable talking to, things came in from very, very unexpected quarters. So person A referred to person B referred to person C, and things started working out for him. Okay, no candies for guessing it. It's my story. So yes, I went through a patch where I needed to understand that connections is powerful. And that's what I'm going to talk to you today. Now, we use the term networking. Well, being from an IT space at one point in time, networking means very different things, but essentially it also means the same. It is actually using the power of connections, individual, human, or machines, or of computers. Now, the challenge is that when we talk of networking, and I per se once believed, because I grew up believing that I myself was an introvert, and I had to take pride in that. Okay, I'm not an extrovert. I shall not attend any party. I shall not go to any gathering unless it was mandated, right? Uh, because I'm an introvert, and I tend to believe that I am not comfortable being with people. Right? It took a couple of sessions, call them coaching, call them mentoring, for me to understand that that was not the case. I was essentially a shy child who had lived with the brand of introvert for all his life. Now, and I also believed in certain myths that the moment we use the term networking, actually is attached to. But before going that, see the whole thing of networking is it is a process in itself. It is not just sending a friend request or just connecting with somebody for something. It always starts with what do we want of it. If you search Google, you will see about 15 odd roles that professional connections can actually play. I classified them into four buckets, and which can be people can play the role of a connector, which means that okay, you need something, you connect with me. I know somebody else who can actually help with that. I connect you to that person. So connectors do play a very important role. However, some of us can also play a role of an enhancer in this whole place of networking, which is that you need to enhance your knowledge about something if it is possible by me in this case of example, or by any other person with whom you wanted to connect or you were connecting with. They can help you doing that. It can be a role of a specialist, which means definitely that this person is a subject matter expert and therefore we want to connect. right? And the fourth one would be of a coach or mentor. So no great shakes, coaching, mentoring, I think most of us all know. But the point to keep in mind is that why do we want to connect? And what are we expecting out of a connection needs to be thought of while we are really thinking to be reaching out to somebody. The first probably step of networking. I refer to the term called myths of networking, and this is what the Center for Creative Leadership actually says, that there are plenty of, or rather, five very key myths that are attached to it, this whole term. First and foremost, that I fell prey to, networking is for extroverts. Absolutely not true. I'm a living example. No, not at all. Uh, when you have a real work, then you connect to anybody, then you actually expand your network. And when the work is done, networking is over. Well, maybe true in certain times, but it really doesn't work because end of the day, we are human beings, right? We are not a plug on, plug off, switch on, switch off material the way I call it. Therefore, yes, networking is triggered by a need. Mostly it does. However, if we mean that that need fulfilled and this networking is stopped, may or may not work. And some of us also tend to believe that it is all about, and particularly this is very, very true in professional networking and when we are networking internally within an organization, that it is all about, getting things done by going around people, quote unquote, politics. Well, that's also not true because end of the day, it is connections. There are plenty of research that says that work gets done in organizations mostly by relationships, not by the hierarchy or the power roles that we all play at work. Yep. It can be manipulative. Well, if the intents are right, may not. Right? And and this one is what I love, and this one is we have plenty of memes, moving around, particularly in Facebook on this, which is that it is all about numbers. If you have 50,000 friends on LinkedIn, or if you have 50,000 friends on Facebook, you are rich. I'm sorry. It is not about quantity. It is about the quality of our own investment in that relationship. Right? Uh, if it was so easy, does it really come very naturally, or does it really happen to each one of us? Well, and that's where the things lie. Where does networking get stalled? What are the roadblocks to this? And I really used to think about myself that what prevented me from really reaching out to people or from really staying connected to people before. And I mean, before when I really needed to, right? And I will put this into two very, very big buckets. One is the self-limiting bias. What will they think? They will think me weak. Oh, they may be busy, they may not have time. Why am I looking out for? Why do I want to reach them? Now I am in need. So will they treat me a level down? All are the thoughts that we are harping in our own minds. It took me a while, really. It did take me, me myself, that push when I had to really, really reach out to people, and that's actually therefore, I would go up to say that just don't think what the other person will think. Our job is to reach out. What worst can happen? The person will say no. So be it. So therefore, if we think that people are busy, they don't have time, ask. If we think we are busy, well, if we need to network, we have to make that time. And it is once again a time of about quality. Yep. And some of us tend to believe that this is needed only once, only once we need to see opportunities outside of organizations, or for that matter, people who are looking for opportunities to get back, it is for them only to get back. Friends, I think it is a lot to do as professionals in our own life to be able to grow in our own roles. And networking plays a big, big role in that. It's about creating, fostering, and nurturing relationships at work, right? So then what to do next? What happens next? Point is that whatever we think, these are all about the human connections. First thing to do is probably to ask the or answer the question, why do we need to connect? Why do we need to network to ourselves? I'm sure, and I really love that. I think Dr. Megha had said that trees don't grow alone. They are connected to the sun, the air, the ground, and all. Exactly true for human beings. We cannot grow alone. You know, being an African of sorts, I love Ubuntu. I really, really love Ubuntu. I believe in that philosophy. It is because it is the I am because we are. And it is exactly present in so many ways. We may not be able to, may not acknowledge it, we may not believe it, but this does exist. Uh, Individual growth, even our business growth for all the entrepreneurs in the room, it does not happen only by working alone. I'm sure all of you know. So therefore, but first, if you're able to answer the why of networking, why do we need to network? Why do we need to create a particular connection? I think it makes our life much easier. Good to be able to prepare the communication, call it an elevator pitch, with the person that we want to connect. At times we believe that we meet a person, say we exchange visiting cards, and business will come next day. We all know that does not. Because till the time the investment from both sides happen, business doesn't, right? There has to be that relationship of trust of sorts to come in. Personalize the approach. I need this from you. And also at the same time, this is what I can do for you. Helps a lot in building these connections and, more importantly, strengthening those connections. And if you still need, and this I'm trying to put my coaching hat on, if you need help, do find help. Do find a mentor, do find a coach. Not only to help you network, but it can be one of your tools. It can be one of those, what do you call it? Those trump cards. Okay, I don't play cards, but one of those cards that that you have in your pocket that can really work marvelously and miraculously when you are least expecting, but you need the most. So I think I've been able to leave you all with some thinking hats. Happy to take questions, comments, views, if that works. Thank you so much. Once again, indeed a privilege to be here. Thank you.
Thank you, Sanjeev. Thank you so much. You really demystified networking. I remember earlier in my career going for conferences. I don't know what to do, who to talk to. And I realized so many people were just shaking hands, talking to people. I'm like, how? Where? You don't know these people and you're talking to them. But over time, I built confidence and I'm very strategic with my connections. Right now, this conference is just made from relationship and networking. Literally, that has been the embodiment of this. So people can see how important it is to build a network. So I will go into the chat box and pick up some questions. And one of it is asking, what are the best practices can professionals follow to expand their external network effectively and sustainably? Sorry. What are the best practices? When you're in your work environment, you connect with your colleagues and all that. But how do you manage external networks? How do you manage them on a day to day? What are the key steps you need to build those relationships?
Well, this is what has helped me. Um, First and foremost, to be able to find some time towards that, to be able to do that regularly, may not be every day, but regularly. Yeah. Uh, I will go back to that point, and that once we have identified our target connections, and to be able to connect with them at a personal level, by a personal level, I mean to be able to spell out what I need from them, and thereby building upon on that has helped me immensely. Because just sending out a request or just exchanging cards somehow fades off. Right? But to be, and also what does not work at all are the good mornings and good evenings.
Thank you for that.
Yeah.
Thank you. That
So
is so important. That's so important for people to know. Very important.
yeah. But exchanging thoughts at times, maybe recognizing that person's presence in your network, uh,
Yeah.
ex- asking for support, and not holding the person to be to if the person couldn't give you the support exactly the way you would have wanted it. I think that helps a lot. A lot of times I see people, test it myself also, that I had sent you my CV, however, I didn't get a job yet. Now puts me in a spot. But uh, if you have requested for something, um, do not hold your network or your connection, you know, straight away to be able to deliver that to you, because that is something will actually break the relationship. Yeah, networking is not about getting an ROI day one, day two, day three.
Key. Networking is not about getting ROI immediately. They want you to know it's long term. I like that. I like that. So people should have that in mind. So I think we have time for one more questions. Um, how can professionals accelerate their career growth and achieve long-term success with strategies that can help them manage networking? Like you just said something. Okay, now I know that networking is a long-term game or stretch. What do I need to do as a professional? Just give us like three of three or four formulas to say the first day you meet this person, this is what you do. After 4 months, three, depending on your connection, this is the next step, then this is the next step. Do you attend birthdays? You ask to attend family events? How do you get to that point? How do you know who to make very personal and who to just keep on a professional level? Where do you find that balance? Just lead us through this so that we are not confused on what to do when we go to a conferencing environment, for instance, and we see who we want to connect with. Oh, how am I going to segment this person? Are you just for this purpose, or do I want to get personal with you? How do we do that? How do we navigate that?
See, now in conferences we would end up meeting a lot of people, right?
Yeah.
Now, if it is say an in-person conference, definitely we make change cards. Okay, not business cards anymore, maybe QR codes or something like those. But we
Yeah.
share our contacts, we get our contacts, right? Let us then try to focus on, yes, if this person can help me with this, let us reach out with. If it is promoting our own our business, always ask for a time to pitch. Yeah, and you may
Okay.
want to thereafter ask the person that if they would be able to help, right? Or you may request the person to connect you to someone else. And I'm sure a lot of us, all professionals, know the power of it, and we do it voluntarily. So there's nothing wrong in it. I would rather be a little say the term personalization I used is it meant a personalization of my pitch, right? So, like any other marketing pitch, uh, if we are able to figure out that is this a need of the person that we are connecting, which the service or the products that we are offering is going to support, by all means build upon on that. Yeah. Uh, if we are able to then find that okay, this person may not be helped, but once again, this person can maybe give us ideas that we can use for our next pitch or for our further journey. Please get that. See, it is about connections, but as I said, there are those four very key roles that networkers play. Are they a subject matter expert? Can I learn more from this person? If you yes, please use. Can this person help me in connecting with others? Yes, please use that. Can this person be my coach and mentor? Evaluate. If yes, use. Right. So basically, these are the kinds of questions that we may want to ask. Therefore, a lot of things while to enhance, encourage, build upon connections is to be able to answer that that why and if you're that what I want from them, and also mind you, if you're able to really also pitch that this is what I need from you, but this is what I can help you with, I'm sure it works.
Oh, great, great
Now,
insight.
this will not happen in every conversation. To reach to this level of conversation, a few more steps need to be taken.
Absolutely, absolutely,
Did
I
I answer
agree.
you? Did I answer
Yes,
you?
you did. Absolutely.
I wish I had a framework or a toolkit of 1, 2, 3, 4.
I know. I know it takes time. I know that a lot of people I have connected with over a period of years, I have met them subsequently in different circumstances and conferences. They're like, hey, I know you. We met here. Oh, fine, fantastic. So that familiarization with the face is also very, very critical as well. Don't say, oh, I met you once and you think the person will open up. You might be lucky one time. Sometimes you
Yes.
have to do five more times to make yourself visible to these people. So you just keep trying and keep going for those events and all that. Thank you so much. I would ask, I don't know if there are any more questions. Do you have like one or two takeaways, and then we can end the session?
Okay.
So
So
for yeah,
uh, just one point. I was seeing today's world with all of us being virtual and so many platforms available. It is very easy. LinkedIn is one of the professionally. LinkedIn is definitely one of the very very sought after channels of networking, and it does work. So there, I mean, incidentally, in my mentoring initiative, I do mentor people in terms of how to build upon on their LinkedIn channels, not creating a profile. Yes, creating a profile, but yeah, I'm really not towards that aspect of it. But it needs a little bit of focus. It needs presence, and all of these channels work on algorithms. The more you are present, the more likely that algorithm will work for you. So being present on a platform, interacting with people who are from your domain, or interacting with people who can maybe lead you, help you for what you need, I think are the very, very basic steps that any one of us can follow. And thereafter, things start following. I mean, things starts happening, and it does happen. So don't worry on that.
okay. So definitely using our social networks, so like LinkedIn, get more active there, build your profile, clean it up as you can, and interact with a lot of people. That's really helpful. So that's a good takeaway from Sanjeev. I really appreciate. We appreciate. I always say chef's kiss. That means you've done so well. Appreciate you for your insight, and thank you for sharing your personal story with us as well. You know, I really like when speakers get vulnerable with us. So we are like you are like us. It's our story, your story, but our story too. So thank you so much, Sanjeev. We can end your
Thank
session
you.
now. Thank you so much. I hope we're having fun. I can see the chat box. You know, it's on fire. If you have questions, please pull it up for him. He's going to keep responding as we, move on to our fourth speaker. Very special fourth speaker for the day, and this is someone that we all want to hear from her. You know, she has really dedicated her career to helping women to find the bounce in their feet and get the confidence to return to the workplace. She has given her everything to supporting women. She's a dynamic leader, and let's welcome Shruti Gaur. Please, if she's here, let us, put a focus on her. Pina here, and I'll read her profile. Shruti brings expertise in, she is the PMO Experience Integration Manager at Mom Relaunch USA. Shruti brings expertise in staff management and relationship building across diverse sectors, including BPO, hospitality, and education. Her journey has been marked by engagement in multifaceted roles across various functions, cultures, and geographies, encompassing operations, training, quality, and transition. Currently, she leverages her diverse experience and skill set as a PMO at Mom Relaunch, an organization dedicated to reintegrating talented mothers into the workforce while championing a culture of diversity and workplace equality. She's responsible for monitoring and controlling project performance, resource management, governance, and reporting and facilitating interdepartmental coordination. She's here to take us on a very interesting topic, skill gap and confidence, concerns about outdated skills. Now, this one is connected to our mom brains. So we have her here. She's ready to dive in, share her experiences, tell us that we are just doing fine, just assure us that everybody's doing well. And our journey is our journey.
Sorry for the
Okay.
background noise. My far baby child is barking, so sorry about that.
Please, they are welcome. They are welcome to join us. They need to see their mom in action. She's doing great things, going global, helping women across the world. They need to show and see how proud they are of you. Please let them be. That's okay.
Thank you, Nola. Thank you. And I'm really honored and glad to be part of this beautiful initiative. So today I'm here representing my organization, which is Mom Relaunch. It also offers a similar platform to women who are trying to relaunch their career, something very similar that you guys are doing. So I'm really honored to be here and talk about something that I have been doing for such a long time, guiding, assisting all the women who want to restart their career and what they can do. And all these women that I work with on a day-to-day basis are women who have had that career gap. And so as part of my job, I really help them build that career gap. So uh, let me just start by saying that I've also gone through the same journey. I've experienced career gap myself. And today I'll be very pleased to share my experience and what I did and how I did to build on that gap. Because I think when we women who have been sailing the same boat, when we share our experiences, it's easier to relate and it's easier to understand what can be done in a much better way to restart a career all over again. So I hope my experience will help a lot of women here gain that confidence so that they can restart and relaunch themselves. And trust me, it's not easy. There is a time when you feel absolutely lost. You feel that you're outdated. You feel that you lack all the skills that are the demand of the time right now. And at times, you even get that thought that even if I start, will I be able to cope up with the people who are already there, who've already made a place for themselves? So, will I be able to cope up or come to that level that those people are already there? It's not easy, but it's all about taking that first step. And the moment you take that first step, trust me, it becomes easy. It's a smooth sail after that. So let's start by understanding what skill gaps are. So what are these skill gaps, and what are the basic concerns that a person has about these outdated skills? So if I have to just explain it in a very simpler language, um, skill gap refers to the difference between the skills that an employer needs and a skill that a job seeker is currently possessing. So there's a difference there. There's a bridge, and how do you build up that bridge is what we'll be talking about right now. Uh, so it highlights the area where individuals lack the necessary competencies to meet the demand of the market. And when I talk about that, when I'll be talking about the skill gap, it just does not focus about women who are looking for jobs, but it also focuses on women who want to be an entrepreneur. Because somewhere down the line, when you've actually stopped working altogether, you got busy with family, kids, and other personal responsibilities, you really do not know as to what's trending, what's happening in the market right now, and what do you need to do, and how do you need to bridge that gap is something that's very critical is something very important, and that needs to be understood. And why that needs to be understood is because I think every woman should be financially independent. It's very important to have that financial independence. And why that financial independence is required? Because it helps you become very confident, it makes you feel good. And once you're financially independent, it gives you that zeal to keep going. So let's start by understanding what you can do to build on the skill gap. The first and the most important thing is acknowledge the skill gap. So it's not easy because you've already been working, but due to some reason you had to quit your job or the work that you were doing. And now to restart all over again, the first thing that one needs to do is acknowledge what the skill gaps are, understand the skill gaps, understand what is the reason why you lack those gaps, and how you can improve and take that first step to build that gap. So if I just have to explain, keep taking in mind my example. So I took a gap of almost 3 to 4 years. And after a gap of 3 years, I realized that what the market demands right now, or the industry tools that are the demand of the market right now, I am absolutely outdated. So I really do not know how those work, and what are the current tools that the job market is working on. So the first thing I did was I went back and did analysis and tried to recognize how I could bridge that gap. So that was the first step that I took, by addressing to my own self that these are the gaps I have, and I now need to understand how I need to bridge those gaps. So once I've acknowledged that, the next step then becomes is the next step that I need to take is self-assessment. Do a thorough self-assessment to determine what are the skills that needs to be updated, how you can create a personalized learning plan for yourself, what are the different tools that you can use to understand what are these learning plans that you can create for yourself. And before you do all of that, the first thing to identify is what is the career track that you've chosen for yourself. Are you looking to be a programmer, or are you looking to be an entrepreneur? What kind of an entrepreneur do you want to be? So once you've identified a track for yourself, basis that you can start doing a self-assessment for yourself, basis that you can start identifying what are the skills that you need to work on or you need to enhance. So once that is ready, it becomes easier for you to lay out a plan for yourself. So keep yourself informed with the industry trends, emerging technologies, what are the current best practices that other people in the market are following. The best way to do that is subscribe to newsletters, follow blogs, follow experts on LinkedIn or other social medias, join webinars, join learning sessions. So these are some of the best ways to keep yourself informed. One of the best way that I feel I keep myself informed and updated is by following the industry experts, because they are the people who know what's trending, what's in demand, what's next, what's the next learning that they're looking for, what are the upcoming skills that they're looking for. So if you keep following them, they will not only tell you as to what are the demands, but they will also guide you as to how you can skill yourself, keeping in mind to the specific industry demands that are there. Okay, be open to learning. So if you're not open to learning, if you don't have that zeal to learn, to grow, to upskill, to enhance yourself, it's not going to be easy. Trust me, it's not going to be easy, because that gap somewhere down the line, brings down your confidence really low. And in order to bring up that confidence, that zeal to learn, that zeal to upskill, that zeal to grow, that zeal to be high in demand has to be there. And the only way you can do that is by continuous learning. How can you learn? You can learn by attending workshops. You can learn by doing certifications. You can learn by, enrolling for online learning courses. So anything where you think can help you grow and upskill, you're more than welcome to do that. Connect with communities that train, that give you the skill that is required. So do all those workshops, do all those sessions, do any kind of certifications, anything that helps you, be in demand in the market. What are the other things that you can do? You can even leverage online resources. So when I talk about online resources, what are these online resources? These online resources could be online training platforms, using platforms like LinkedIn Learning. So not sure how many are exploring these, but if you actually start exploring these, if you actually stay updated with these, there are many things that you can learn from there. So it not only will help you learn, but it will also help you keep in sync with the industry trends that are in demand right now. Like Sanjeev was mentioning in his session prior to mine, networking. Networking plays a very important role. Why networking plays an important role? Because it helps you build a learning community. When you join these professional learning groups or these communities, you not just learn from them, because it also helps you stay motivated. So networking plays definitely a very important role. And that's the reason I was able to sync in with what Sanjeev was mentioning about. When I wanted to start my career all over again, and like I mentioned, it was not easy. It was really difficult for me. I had lost all that confidence. But then networking played a very important role. I started connecting with people I had worked earlier. I started connecting with my mentors. I started connecting with my peers. I started connecting with people who I thought could keep me engaged, keep me provide me all that learning that I needed, provide me all that guidance, all that support, and show me where all are the opportunities that I can grab. So networking definitely plays a very important role to build on any sort of a career gap. And once you've taken care of stuff like networking, you have built up a community where you've open to learning, you've started a self-assessment, you've realized what a career track you've chosen for yourself, how you can work on that, what you can build to improve and keep focused on that career track. Once you've done all of that, then there are certain things that you need to work on. And these certain things that you need to work on is start applying those skills. So, if we talk about how we talk to our kids, so we tell our kids, till the time you don't practice what you've learned, it's all a waste. So similarly, till the time you don't practice and you don't apply all the skills and all the learnings that you've put into place, till the time you don't start applying and practicing that, nothing's going to help. And how you can practice that? You can practice that by volunteering, doing freelancing, internships, any kind of project showcasing, maybe do a personal project showcasing. Show what you've learned, how you utilized, how did you put that into practice, create a beautiful video around that, create a project around that, put it on your social media pages, showcasing the world, the skills that you have, showcasing the world, the talent that you have, so that people know that, yes, you have upskilled yourself and you are there to grab any opportunity that comes your way. So ensure that whatever learning you've done, you do that and bring that to practice. Applying and practicing is very critical. Confidence building. You gain confidence. So you can only gain confidence if you practice. The more you practice, the more you apply, the more volunteering, the more internships, the more freelancing, the more confident you become. Attending workshops, attending public speaking sessions, helping others gain that confidence that you lacked, and how you build on that confidence and how you overcame that career gap. So taking sessions for other people, that public speaking really helps you build that confidence, and all that you need in order to restart your career. And the first thing that you need to restart your career is confidence. Till the time you don't have that confidence, nothing is going to help you out. If you don't have the confidence, you will not be able to learn anything new. If you don't have the confidence, you will not be able to volunteer. If you don't have the confidence, you will not be able to face an interviewer. If you don't have the confidence, you will not be able to work in teams. So confidence plays a very, very critical part, because if you're confident, you know what you're doing, you know why you're doing, and you know how to do it. So confidence plays a very, very critical role, and that can only be put at the right place. And you can only gain that confidence by doing as much as volunteering, as much as practice as possible. Okay. One other critical thing in order to build the career gap is being very updated on social media. Have your portfolios updated, have your resumes updated. Make sure you highlight any achievement, any new learnings that you've done, any new certifications that you gained. Keep highlighting that, keep updating your LinkedIn profile. LinkedIn plays a very critical role when it comes to LinkedIn plays. So sorry. LinkedIn plays a very critical role when it comes to finding a job, starting a new career altogether. So make sure whatever learnings, whatever highlights, whatever achievements, everything goes on your social media. Shout it out loud. There is, I mean, there is no harm in self-praise. Praise as much as you can, because you know you have the potential, you know you have the skills, you know you've done everything to bridge that gap. So why not call it out? Why not talk about it? Highlight it as much as you can. And then, yes, once all of that is done, now what plays the most important role is having realistic goals. You don't expect that you've had a career gap for 5 years. You don't expect that in 2 days you would be up and running and finding a job for yourself. You don't expect that you would be up and running to start a business in the next 2 days. So there has to be realistic goals. And when I talk about realistic goals, it's about keeping smaller goals, taking one step at a time. So make sure you have that entire career path, entire career plan defined, laid out, uh, chalked it out properly, and you know which step to take first. Have smaller goals. Make sure you're taking one step at a time. It will not only help increase your confidence, but it'll also keep motivating you. When you keep achieving those smaller goals, when you'll see that you've been victorious in achieving that goal that you had set up for yourself, that smaller goal that you had set up for yourself, you turned out to be victorious in that. It'll give you that confidence. It'll give you that satisfaction that yes, you have that potential to do it further. And so that one step at a time can really help you achieve the end result that you're looking for. And never say never. Never stop anywhere. Maybe it'll take a little longer to achieve the goal that you've set up for yourself, but keep going. Don't stop. This is a journey that's not going to be easy. It's going to take time. And have that confidence that, yes, you will be able to achieve one day. If not today, it's going to be tomorrow. If not tomorrow, it's going to be a day after that. But it definitely is going to come true one day. So make sure that you take those smaller steps, keep gaining that confidence, keep building that momentum for yourself so that you're able to achieve the goal that you've set up for yourself. Learn anything that comes your way, any new skill that can help you achieve your goals. Maybe I'm not very good at communication. So why not learn a skill that can help me communicate better with people around me? Communication could be one of the critical aspects of my career goal. So why not let me focus on that particular skill that I am looking for, maybe the kind of business or the kind of profession that I am looking for myself that requires problem solving. So why not start learning that skill about problem solving? What stops you from doing it? So be open, be adaptable, do anything that helps you build that career gap, do anything that helps you gain that goal that you've set up for yourself. Celebrate the success, highlight the achievements. So these are basic things, smaller things, but yes, it will definitely help you achieve the plan that you've set up for yourself. And like I said, it's not just for women who want to start a job or are looking for a job for themselves. This is also for women who want to be entrepreneurs and want to start something fresh, absolutely a new learning. Uh, it's not necessary that what you've been doing in the past is something that you have to do going forward. Maybe in that 5 years or 3 years or 10 years of the gap that you took, maybe that was the right time to gauge, to analyze, to assess and understand, could there be something that I could have done better? Was this the right time to learn something new? And yes, if it is, then take that leap, take that step, start learning something new. Uh, Things change, trends change, times change. And so you should be also open to that change. And once you change, once you have that plan, uh, once those goals are set, it's going to be easy. It's going to be a moment of celebration. It's going to be a moment of achievement and a smooth sail.
Thank you so much, Shruti. Shruti, can you coach all of us? Like, just coach us, because it seems like you've not given us enough, because it's like everything that we want to hear, you are saying it back to back. Get on social media, put yourself out there, do your analysis, do self-assessment. I think we're all afraid. We're afraid of failing. We want to be superstars, but we don't want to do the job because we're afraid, but we want to get it done. But you have just hit the point so well that I have gotten confidence back. And I also realized, also for women who are still on the job, sometimes family can really keep you on the spot and you can't even move forward. But by the time you put your head up, everybody is gone. Like, what's happening? So thank you so much. Thank you so much for releasing your experiences to us and telling us how it is and what we should do. So I'm going to dive right into the questions, and you practically have answered so much. So I'm just going to ask for specific steps. You already gave us steps in analyzing, getting on networks, following experts, joining webinars. How do we not feel overwhelmed? Tell us where to reach the bridge the boundaries to say, hey, I know you're trying to keep up with your skills, but hey, this is when to stop and get time to calibrate and continue to build on the ones you already have. Like you said, things are changing so rapidly. Where can I say I don't want to learn cloud computing again? I think what I learned is okay, the new technology is not for me. And will I still be relevant? What are the transferable skills that I can still manage with as I continue to build my skills?
So that's a good question, Nola. I know people, especially after the career gap, you tend to get overwhelmed and it's not easy. It's not easy. So, like I mentioned, have that plan laid out for yourself till the time you don't, uh, have that defined structure in place, that what is the career gap I'm looking for? Am I open to change? Am I not open to change? That is something, the first thing that should be very clear in your mind. If you're not open to change, like I mentioned, connect with the experts to understand that this is the skill that I already had. What further can I do to still be part of that skill, to still be working on that skill and not change much? So connect with those experts. You still would have, like when I was working, I had my connection. There is no harm in going back to them and saying, you still working? Tell me what I left, how can I pick it up from there? I don't want to learn absolutely new. I don't want a new career track. But where I left, if I want to start from there, what is it that I need to do? So have those smaller goals set for yourself and take, like I mentioned, take one step at a time. If you take that, it's not going to overwhelm you. Uh, it's not necessary that every time you see the new changes happening around you, you have to change. It's not necessary. When I left my job, I left as a PMO. And when I started as a PMO. I never wanted to change because I loved what I was doing. The only thing that I wanted to understand was that where I left from, what is it that I need to learn or upskill myself on so that I can pick it up from where I left? That's all that you need to do. So as
Thank you for
long as you
that.
understand that, it's going to be easy.
Oh, thank you so much for that insight and redirecting our thought to say if you know what to, if you're doing something well, stick with it. Just improve on that skill. Don't look for too many skills or else you'll be overwhelmed. Thank you so much. So I would like to ask, what are employers looking for in candidates who are returning to the workforce after a break? Is there any specific skill that we still just that's beyond our industry that every employer is looking out for when we return back from our break?
So again, to answer to that, Nola, it's just that once you have your career track in place, look for the opportunities and see what are the job descriptions that these employers have asked for. Do you fit into that job description that they've asked for? Do you have those skills that they have asked for? If not, what is it that you need to do in order to fit into that job description that they have defined? Maybe the skills that you already have, you're good enough in that. Maybe once, like I mentioned, confidence plays a very, very critical role. Maybe an employer is looking for an X skill in an employee before they want to hire them. But the way you talk to them, the way you put across yourself, the way you sell yourself to an employer is all about confidence. At times, they feel that, oh, even if this person does not know the skill that I'm looking for, this person is so confident that if I have them on board, maybe in the next 1 month, I can skill them. I can upskill them. So that confidence plays a very, very critical role. And from the experience that I have, I've seen that if you actually looking for jobs with good organizations, they do a little bit of hand holding, they teach you the skills that the companies are working on. So, have that confidence that I am ready to grab a job. I am open to take up any challenge that comes my way. A little hand holding and I'll be there. I have that confidence. If you come across confident, anybody would love to have you on board.
Okay, hand holding reassures us that we can be coached through any process and we get around it. Thank you so much. I have
Right.
one more question and we can
Sure.
call your session to an end. Now this is for I have one that what strategies can be employed to ensure that a return to work is not just temporary, but leads to a sustainable career advancement? Like when we return to work, how do we manage not leaving work again? Or is it okay to leave work again and re-enter again? Just let people just know what they should do, because I know sometimes you'll be out for 5 years, you come for another five, something urgent takes you out, maybe to care for a parent or you have another child or something just pulls you out. How do you say, oh hey, I can manage this, I continue my career as I do this, or do I leave completely? Where do I make that decision? Please help mothers, help all of us.
Yeah, sure. So, like I said, I work for Mom Relaunch, and here we give this opportunity to a lot of moms to come and restart their career. So, at Mom Relaunch, we start by hand holding, and then we actually set them free. We tell them that now you have all the skills and all the techniques and all the tools that you require to restart your career. So we set them free and we tell them now start your journey all by yourself. We've given you enough that needs to be worked upon to relaunch yourself. Why I'm mentioning Mom Relaunch? Because what happens is that when mothers come back, uh, they come back with, they're overwhelmed. They just want to start because they've got this opportunity to start all over again. But it's not easy to leave behind all the responsibilities that you've been taking care for so long. So what we do at Mom Relaunches, we give them that experience that they're looking for. But if at any point they are overwhelmed or they feel that it's getting too much or the work-life balance is getting hampered, we tell them, go, take a break of a month, take a break of 3 months, or whatever you feel, you know, you need to go back and reconsider yourself. It's like taking oxygen back in. So we tell them, go take that oxygen back in and then come back again. We're here. We are here waiting for you, giving you that opportunity to restart all over again. So once you've started a career, uh, when you start it in such a way that you start building trust, you start forming networks, you build that confidence around people that you're working with, and they feel that this is the right person or the right candidate that they've hired to be working for. That at any point when you feel overwhelmed, the kind of networking that you've built, it should be so strong that you should be absolutely open to go and talk to them that how do you feel about it right now, and that the networking should be so strong that at any point if you feel that you can go and talk to your supervisors, your bosses, your colleagues, or anybody and say, I think I need to take a breather for 15 days again in order to come back and start all over again. So they should have that confidence in you and say, oh, I know if you get that breather, maybe you come back much better. So that, like I said, networking actually plays a very critical role, and how you perform plays a very critical role. So if you have a strong networking, if you have a strong network, if you have strong connection, and if your work talks for you, nothing can stop you.
Oh, thank you so much, Shruti. Appreciate your time. Thank you for your ideas, your experiences, and letting us know that we will just be fine with the strategies. And like every other growth conference, every topic is intertwined, everything is layered, and all the topics are required for your journey going forward. So I want to appreciate every speaker here for sharing us, giving us your time. And I want to yield the floor back to our beautiful, beautiful host, Kritisha. Thank you.
Okay. So many takeaways today, isn't it? Right? Right
Absolutely.
from we had a grand and fantastic opening by Dr. Megha herself, who has been there, done that at the hem of her career, a gold medalist in horse riding, and when she had to pause her career and balance between what she was pursuing as a PhD and between her kids. What a wonderful story, and so inspiring. And there are so much takeaways by Erica. The harmony, it's how a work-life balance word placed with the harmony, replaced with the harmony. That was also so wonderful, isn't it? So
Fantastic. It
wonderful.
was great.
Yes. And yes, and so we are still looking forward to another wonderful session by Vivian. Thank you so much, and we're so looking forward to it.
Okay, great. So to close our session, we need to take a group photograph with everyone here. I would like us to turn on our cameras for just a quick snapshot so that we
I
capture
just a
everyone.
moment. I still need to. I have made some more notes. I'll just finish that. Sanjeev,
Okay, okay,
yeah, your networking tips were amazing. I'm sure women have found a lot of tips in that. When they apply to it, they're sure to succeed in effective networking and make connections. Thank you so much, Shruti. Your points on active, we've been learning more, utilizing that time so nicely, and so many more points. Thank you so much, all the speakers. Thank you, Ogo, for your coordination and being so actively participating in this. And Nola, that's your leadership has always added to it. Hina, we are looking forward to your coordination tomorrow. It's going to be another exciting day at the Growth Conference. All the participants, thank you so much for staying around with us. And tomorrow is going to be another day with new speakers and so much more learning, so much more to hear from their stories and get inspired. I'm so thankful that each one of you gave your best today.
Thank you so much, Kruti, for calling this session to an end. Before we close, please kindly turn on your cameras and we'll take a quick snapshot. My moderator for tomorrow, Ine, is here. You are here. Thank you. Thank you for supporting. Thank you so much. Thank you to the entire team for making this day one a success. So a quick snapshot and we'll be done.
Thank you.
All right, we're good to go.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. So before we close, finally, participants should know that please be informed that there will be a free session to highlight how they can prepare themselves to return to work after the closing speech tomorrow. We'll share details with the delegates group and during tomorrow's event. So you're already taking something that is going to be of great benefit from the growth conference. You are going to be part of a free session with the entire team. Yes, thank you so much. So officially, day one is over. So round of applause, virtual round of applause to everyone. Thank you so much. I know it's a great, great success and great outing. Thank you.
Thank you.
Technical team, you can play the montage and we close out. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.